Here is Mante, Kelvin Obin, Braye, Fojo, Oseyao. Amumensa, Fuzi Taylor. MEDEAMA patiently hanging on to possession, finding the best way to penetrate this 11 Wonders side. Here is Suleimana Fatau, steps him forward in confidence. Kelvin Obin traps it. Amial's header, Joba will prevent the corner.
I knew the 4-4-2 was certainly going to be an explosive one, but it looks like so far it's been good for Wonders in defense. They've managed to cage the MEDEAMA attack, with that front two of Kingsley Braye and then also Kelvin Obin. We've not really seen much of Fojo, on the left-hand side. We've not also seen much, of Salim Adams on the right-hand side of attack. Well, you would have to credit Wonders. They've been the most threatening side so far, in the first 7 minutes. And if they should continue this way, then certainly they could get something out of this game.
Issa loses possession. Here is Salim. Now Braye. Miscommunication between Braye and Yao. Borrows out for Wonders throw. Wonders are coming into this game from a rather impressive 2-drawn game against Samatex, considering how they are faring in the league. They had to claw back from 2 goals down to pick up that rare point at the Swedro Stadium last weekend. They must have come into this game with a lot of confidence after that result, Wonders. Here is Braye. Good hold-up play from Braye now. Manuel Mante tears away from his marker. Braye, good play from Obin, but the ball is cleared away by Afurapo eventually.
They're building up, quite swiftly. It's been smooth with those short, intricate passes, with some hold-up plays as well.
Here is Asamoah throwing Wonders. Someone out to Amiao. Angel Ewula swings in across, away by Amumensa. Fed away by Suleimana. Now Amiao will pick it up for Wonders. Aiden Kofi Asamoah goes past Suleimana with cheeky ease, steps into the box, goes for the drive, and it's gone away for a goal kick, but that's impressive from Aiden Kofi Asamoah on the right side of the Wonders attack.
It's just what you love to see if you're Emmanuel Edu. Just look at that skill with so much ease, and Suleimana not doing anything to recover that ball, but again, they're showing signs of how good they can be on the offensive. And you talk about the last game where he scored twice, and you'll be thinking that's where the confidence is emanating from Kofi Asamoah.
Mante on the lookout for Suleimana, but ball goes out for a throw into 11 Wonders. MEDEAMA themselves came into this game from that defeat against Dreams FC in Tuba, where they eventually lost their top spot on the league log, leapfrogged by the BNE Gold Stars, who won an impressive 1-0 win over Vision at the Dance Park last weekend. That's the earlier incident that resulted in Wonders getting the foul. Fojo tracking back and eventually bringing down the Wonders attacker.
Yeah, they've been struggling so far. They've been struggling, especially in midfield. They are not finding any grip, and they're allowing Wonders to make good use of the open spaces at the wide areas as well.
10 minutes at the TNA in time. It's MEDEAMA 0, 11-1 0. Here is Fuzi Taylor. impeded by Ewula, gets the free kick. Mano Mante, Fatau Sulemana, he's got Kelvin Abin dashing to the left, he goes through the middle trying to find Braille, but he goes straight to Joba.
Yeah, and centrally they are not really making any inroads. You talk about MEDEAMA Sporting Club. We've seen a couple of hold-ups, good ones by Kelvin Obin and then also Braille, but it looks like there's no space in midfield, and you'll be thinking there's a time perhaps Ibrahim Tanko would order them to go through the wide areas, you know, where you have Salim Adams and then also Derek Forge operating.
Angela Wooler for Wonders. He's aiming at Asamoah on the right side. Lovely control by Asamoah. Good movement. Tries to play the 1-2 with Ewula. Goes for the first time and impressively flies over the bar for a goal kick. The movement was good, but the final delivery awful.
Yeah, but I think it's a much better attacking sequence than what we saw previously from the same player. You know, Asamoah down the right hand side. He's finding so much space now. You know, he's making good use of his pace. I think the only thing missing now is trying to redirect or direct that shot on target.
Braille, fouled by Jibril Mohammed. Desmond Tete to Angel Ewula. He's checking onto the right side, and Asamoah is on his bike, but Sulemana is first to the ball. He finds Felix Che. Mubarak Yusuf calms down the situation. Here is Fatau Sulemana. Obin is bitten to the ball by Amiao. Here is Issa to Desmond Tete. Farouk Amiao for 11 Wonders on the right side. He picks out Desmond Tete, but Asamoah is not making that move. Seems not to be on the same page with Tete.
I think he's been their most impactful player so far. Asamoah on the right hand side. It was a move you're thinking that he should have made that move, but he was also expecting that direct pass from his teammate, who rather play that ball into space. And if they could really feed him more of those balls, perhaps they could be on their way to breaking the deadlock.
Here is Mubarak Yusuf. Kelvin Obin. That's what retrieve possession once more now to Mante. Salim Adams, shooting range for him. He's blasted, but this time it's gone horribly wrong for him. Nowhere near causing problems for 11 Wonders.
Yeah, it's quite awkward if Salim Adams shoots from his range and it doesn't even trouble the goalkeeper, but ends as a throw-in. Just look at that, yeah, but there was a bit of pressure there. You could see Angela Wooler trying to close in on him a bit faster before he could just unleash that one.
Here's Derek Forjo. Kingsley Braille looking for that space to pick out Kelvin Obin, but well defended by Wonders as Joba plucks it.
And you're doing something right now, and you know it's been the same instructions from Emmanuel Edu, you know, on the touchline, asking them to close in early before, you know, any media player can just strike the ball from a distance, and they are doing it so well now, which has really been frustrating from, you know, the MEDEAMA standpoint.
Festus and Chroma. Amo Mensah wins possession. Now he steps forward and finds Manuel Mante. MEDEAMA looking for the opening. Here is Jacob Mensah. Now Derek Forjo onto Mensah. Mensah shoots and it's missed by inches. Close for MEDEAMA.
We've spoken about how, you know, difficult it's been using the central areas in attack, but this time it worked so well. It's the movement for me. Look at where he finds himself, playing at right back. Just look at that 1-2, catching those players off guard. A couple of them flat-footed, but that shot again just whiskers away from hitting the target.
Here is Mohamed Issa onto the part of Nkrumah, back to Issa. He's got Forjo to contend. The flag has gone up as an offside against 11 Wonders.
Quite disappointing to see such a promising attack and move, come to such an abrupt end. But again, it's the prospect and the promise they are showing now, 11 Wonders, and certainly they don't look like a side that should have 10 points after 26 games in a top flight.
He's giving away possession. Here is Manuel Mante for MEDEAMA. He's got Obin, goes past his markers, tries to set up Obin, but I think it's too much weight on that pass from Manuel Mante. Probably you're thinking Obin could have equally gone in with more pace, but certainly Mante's pass was a bit hard.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hit, but I think it was just two things. He was just trying to make it so simple for Obin to just tuck that one in, instead of trying to play that one right onto the foot of Obin to race down the line and hit that one. But I think Obin showed no desire. He should be chasing that, especially when the scoreline is still, goalless at this point. You still be chasing a goal, and I think there was more from Obin to have been done than just trying to leave that.
Here is Kingsley Braye. It's a good tackle from Farouk Amia, but not in the lenses of Robert Muse. He whistles for a free kick. So you see Amia complaining. So I was thinking that he must have gotten the ball, but clearly he had something on the man first.
Yeah, he does, and that's where the protest is coming from. He knows he won that French square ball. I think it was that collision, the impact right after winning the ball, that led to, Robert Muse whistling for that infringement.
Little joy for the home side in the last 6 weeks for a team who led the Premier League for 9 consecutive weeks. From week 16 to week 25, MEDEAMA were on top of the Premier League. They were only leapfrogged by Gold Stars last weekend after their slumping Tuba. But they know if they win this game, they go back on top, waiting for the outcome of that game on Sunday in Tamale. Free kick MEDEAMA. There's Fuzi and there's Salim. Fuzi bends one, and it's straight and easy for Joseph Barr, imposed for goals 11 Wonders.
It was a pretty decent save, but you'd say that the movement of Brian nearly confused him at that point. No one at the far post, but just look at that. But he does well to keep his eyes fixed on the ball, and he does well to just put his body behind it.
Fatah Sulemana and the main man, Salim Adams.
Yeah, it's been a good partnership, especially when you have the trio, in midfield. And today, based on that tactical variation, you have Salim Adams drifting a bit towards the right-hand side of attack, allowing Mante and Fuzi to operate, through the middle.
Fuzi with a lovely pass to Yao on the right side, but he can't get to Forjo as Jibril takes over possession for 11 Wonders. Jibril goes down, and there's an infringement against Derek Forjo. Some 20 minutes at the Takwa and Abuaso Stadium. It's MEDEAMA Sporting Club 0, 11 Wonders 0. Afurapo, Isa, Farouk Amiao, Ewula, Isa, Asamoah, Mubarak Yusuf has the ball down to Mano Mante. Fatau on the left, back to Salim Adams. That's what to pick out Mante. Here's Fatau Sulemana, swings in across, header goes in. It's a brilliant save by Joba to deny Kingsley Bryan. Good header by Bryan, but the goalkeeper had it well covered. Wonders rescued by Joba with that top-class save.
It was a stupendous save, but that was a lovely whip and a looping header there. Just had to improvise. He had the ball, close to his waist level. And just look at how he goes down to head that one. I just credit the goalkeeper for that save.
MEDEAMA's corner to be taken by Fatau Sulemana. Fatau swings one in, header flies in, and it's an opening goal. Kelvin Obin makes it 1-0 for MEDEAMA Sporting Club on 21 minutes here at the Takwan Abuaso Stadium. Well delivered by Fatau Sulemana, glancing header by Kelvin Obin, and the Mob and Yellow are back in business.
Yeah, just the right time to get a goal to ease off the pressure on them. And Emmanuel Edu is just fuming right now. He's quite livid with a sort of offended, but it starts from the corner where Fatau delivers a sumptuous ball right into the goalkeeper's area, and it's the way they just attack it. Earlier on, we saw that free kick again, from Fuzi, where he tried to just, dummy the goalkeeper, but this time he had interest, and there was no one marking him, at the near post, and all he had to do was to just direct that one. So easy for him, and there's no way Bar was just going to save that.
Kelvin Obin repaying the confidence MEDEAMA had in him when they decided to engage the services even when he was injured, underwent successful surgery, and opens the scoring for MEDEAMA as he starts this Premier League game for the former champions. Obin is a former striker for Aduana in Brecum Chelsea. Joba had no answers whatsoever. Offside against Nkrumah.
Just talk about experience, and you think it's just what MEDEAMA did during, the January transfer window to bring in a couple of players, and you look at a player like Obin and his quality, and the number of seasons he's had under his belt, and that's just what you need, to play alongside a young upcoming striker like Bryan as well.
As a matter of fact, Kelvin Obin was with MEDEAMA before the start of the season, but because he was injured and MEDEAMA had to ensure that his fitness was sorted out, he went through the